Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Entrepreneurs Being More. It's Wednesday, February 2nd. We had a great kickoff call last night, and I think everyone's excited for the next full month of 2022. We have been discussing an important concept thus far in this series. We're looking at the idea of what are those specific results that we're working on creating, achieving in our life. And we've spent some time the last couple of weeks looking specifically at this idea of income. And last time we were together, people were sharing specifics. We had several of you talk about specific amounts and put specific amounts to a month, to the year, and what it is that you're hoping to generate as far as your Nikken business goes. And tonight we're going to expand this a little bit further with our Royal Diamond Ben Woodward. We're going to continue to stay focused on this idea of income. We will be expanding out to what we want to create in terms of influencing others and the community that we want to create with our business. But we're going to get specific about this idea of income. And Ben, who had some technical difficulties last time, is going to help us to think about this idea of income and to give us some feedback in terms of what we shared last night. But we're going to be getting into some of the specifics in terms of strategy or processes that will make the kind of income you want to generate, whether it's 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000. We had a lot of different numbers thrown out last time, and getting very clear about understanding strategies and results that are going to happen in terms of recruitment, whether that's new customers or new consultants for your organization, rank advancement that's happening among your team, your various team members, and what types of components you might have to have in your organization to make the kind of income you want to have happen, or the kind of retailing that might need to be done, depending on what your objectives are. So I think for many of you, this might be one of the most important Zoom calls you've participated in the last year. I think Ben is ready to share that kind of information, that groundbreaking kind of information with us tonight. So take out your pen, take out your pencil, be ready to participate. Ben, are you with us?
I am. How are you doing?
We're doing great. Ben, take it away.
Cool. Thank you very much. So I wanted to pick up from last week's conversation where we had a lot of really positive feedback in regards to the specifics of what you wanted your business to generate in terms of income. Now, to really help us be productive today, if you have a pen handy or maybe your notes from last week, I want to make sure that you get that out, or maybe if you're on your laptops, you can make some notes that way. But I want you to have it very clear in your mind, what is the income that I want my business to generate on a monthly basis? And I know some of you shared that last week. I want to just, you can either use the chat or raise your hand, and let's just get some numbers coming back. Again, just for a quick recap as to what are some of the income goals that you have for your Nikken business, because I want to be able to put that into the context of compensation plan activity and business building or organization building structures and that type of thing. So anyone want to raise their hand? And we don't need to go into big details as to the whys behind it. We've talked a bit about that before. Today, we just wanted to get specific. My goal for my business is I want it to create X amount of income a month, for example. So let's get some sharing here. Monthly income. Yeah.
Dr. Paul, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, well, I want the income to be equivalent to the volume of 30,000 a month, because that's when I would be paid as a platinum. And I don't know if somebody has a quick number as to what that would be monthly, but that's what I want. What would that number be, Ben, if you're paid as a platinum with 30,000 in OPV every month.
Let me get my calculator out. Give me 1 second. Okay, now, one of the challenges with calculating specifically on income, on volume, is it depends where in your organization that volume comes from as to how much you get, okay? Because I've sometimes found that my volume might go down a little bit, but my check might go up a little bit, or vice versa, because of where that volume might be coming from. And of course, the product mix, because different products have different PV-CV ratios. Yeah, so we can see, for example, over the last 12 months, Luis has done a great job of, increasing the commissionable value of some of our products. And this is a process of time where we'll see this kind of stretch out across the product range in due course. So, but give me 1 second and I'll see. So if you had 30,000, I'm doing a very basic level scenario here, okay? So what I'm saying is the vast majority, when you start to get a large organization, the majority of your check, this is one of these funny things. In fact, I'm gonna do a share screen and I'll walk you through this, Paul, as to what I'm showing on the screen here, if that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share with everyone, I've got this up and ready for our call, a compensation plan summary. This is found in our policies and procedures, and it's in our back office, okay? This is what the compensation plan looks like. So you can see on the left, you've got the different ranks: direct, executive, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, royal diamond. And with each one, it's got your monthly qualification requirements. And we can see, to Paul's point, a platinum is required to generate 30,000 organizational volume points on a monthly basis if they want to be paid at platinum. There's some other criteria involved there. You can have a quick read of that if you wish. In addition, so now as we move right across the screen, you can see you get 20% retail profit. You get a 20% rebate on your personal volume, and you get up to 10 or up to 20%, depending on the structure of your personal group and their activity, an override from your personal group. From there, you then get, as a platinum, 6% on your leadership bonus for levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I would also point out, in addition to that, which isn't shown here, you would also qualify for the lifestyle bonus. The lifestyle bonus is something that you get once you're qualified at the gold rank, okay? So you've got that in addition. So if I was to say, what would I earn as a platinum? If I was to take 30,000 points and multiply that by 6%, that gives me approximately $2,000 in leadership bonuses, okay? Because you get that 6% of the volume there paid out in leadership bonuses. Now, that doesn't include retail profit. If you've got any retail activity, I would expect that you should, of course, because that's also a qualification criteria. And it doesn't include your rebates or your overrides, which can be up to 20% of your personal group activity. Now, your personal group needs to have, at that level, at least 1,000 points a month being generated. Ideally, if you're wanting to build your business and you're a platinum and you're wanting to grow to diamond, that personal group volume should be nowhere near 1,000 points. It should be much higher than that, because your organizational volume will come from your personal group. As you start to expand your personal group and you get a growing team, then they will start to migrate as they rank advanced to silver into your leadership bonus pool, your organizational group, and you get your bonuses there. They'll develop that way. So you really want to have a robust personal group. I would suggest that you'd want to have about at least 20% of your volume being in your personal group at that level, if not more, maybe even 30%. Because if you've got a really strong personal group, then you can be confident that your business is growing especially if that volume is dynamic, meaning you've got new people coming into your organization, into your personal group on a consistent basis. So what you want to see is that personal group. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second. That personal group should look like the most dynamic, transient group of your business, meaning you've got people coming into that group on a consistent monthly basis through new recruits, and you've got people leaving that group because they're rank advancing to silver and going into your organization as a consequence. So you want to see that as a transitory space. So your personal group, you get up to 20% on, which is a great commission, especially if 20 to 30% of your organization resides in that space. That's a nice check. In addition to your retail commission, in addition to your lifestyle bonus, you could start expecting then, if you've got that type of a structure, where you've got 20 to 30% of your business being in your personal group in a transitory fashion, not in a static fashion, meaning you've got a load of people just sat there doing nothing or doing a little bit and not progressing. You want to have that moving, yeah? But if you've got that structure in place and you've got your 30,000 in volume, you're going to have a very healthy, dynamic, growing business that should be generating for you at that point. You could be expecting around 5,000 a month, I would say, quite comfortably. That would be my expectation, yeah? Now, if you wanted to do more than that, of course, then you want to start building that organization out. This is a point that I wanted to stress today, is not that, that's my high school, my daughter's high school calling me there. This is a point that I wanted to emphasize today. There are a lot of people that are qualifying for incentives. Maybe it might be.
Go to profile page, the real pancake, notification setting, 2 hours.
So, okay, that's not me. Okay, I think that's you, Paul.
That's me.
Yeah, okay, no worries. I thought I was getting a public voice message then. So a lot of people are qualifying for things like Club Ki, or maybe even Team Kaizen, where the bulk of their activity is coming through retail sales. Now, here's my question. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. But I want to emphasize today the ratio of effort index, the effort index that goes into having a predominantly retail-focused business versus a balanced business. Now, over the last few years, we've talked about in Nikken the importance of having a balanced business. When we first introduced that conversation was when I was president of Nikken, and everyone got it wildly incorrect and thought, wait a second, we're all talking about getting customers, so we stopped recruiting. Let's all focus on getting customers. And then the pendulum shifted from being recruitment driven, and it went woof, all the other way, and everyone started focusing on customers and going, well, what about recruitment? That wasn't the point. What we were saying was we want to have a balanced business. Now the pendulum has started to swing back the other way, which is great. And often that happens as you make a cultural shift, yeah? When you're making changes culturally, that tends to happen with that pendulum. It swings one way and then it swings back into a more centered, balanced perspective, which is where we're starting to get to now. But this is the point that I want to emphasize. I've got members of my team that are wonderfully focused on retail activity. They get great retail commissions, they get great volume, and some of them qualify almost exclusively with having a predominantly retail-based business for some trips, which is great. Here's the challenge. As I speak to them and say, what are your goals for this year or for the next couple of years? They all want to talk about growing their check and building their organization. The challenge that they get is when you have a large groundswell of customers, even if you're getting them all online, I want to emphasize this, even if all of your customers are being found digitally, there is still customer service that goes into maintaining them, managing them, supporting them, engaging them, and making sure that they don't get captured by another online retailer that is doing some other online ads where they go, oh, I'll go jump and I'll get my business from them this month. So there's all of this loyalty work, follow-up, retailer engagement, all that type of stuff to make sure that they retain and keep active their customers. Now, if they're heavily focused in that way, when you turn around and start saying, now build your organization, some of them get overwhelmed because they're spending all of their time in customer acquisition, retention, and engagement. And if you have tons and tons and tons, then you've got about this much time available, only a little bit, to build your organization. So what we want to do is get a balance. If you're wanting to get, because this is another reason behind this, every month you start over with a retail focused business. Yeah. Unless you're doing a great job of getting them on AutoShip or the wellness subscription program. If they're on the wellness subscription program, you've got a good benchmark there where you can anticipate a certain amount of set volume each and every month. Yeah. So you want to get as much of your customers onto the wellness subscription program as you can. Why? One, it's the best for them in regards to prices. Two, it's also the best for your business in terms of ongoing engagement. And you can anticipate like I said, a good benchmark of volume that will come in each and every month based on that ongoing wellness subscription income. Okay, so I would encourage everyone, if you're wanting to get a lifestyle that accompanies the check, if you're wanting to get $5,000 a month, $2,000 a month, but you're wanting a little bit of free time with that, okay, then this is what I want to talk about today. Because you can get $2,000 a month with a great retail business, but you'll have to work really hard for it each and every month. If you build up a retail business where you drive them onto the wellness subscription program, then your workload reduces a little bit, right? And that's what you want. One of the reasons we have a business is because the benefit of the organization is you get commissions based on the effort and activity of others versus exclusively yourself. If you have a retail dominated business, your income will come predominantly through your own personal efforts alone. That means you won't get the lifestyle or time freedom that a lot of people talk about as a key perk of a network marketing business. If you want that, you've got to build an organization. Okay, you've got to build that organization. So I'm going to go back and share my screen again and give some context as to what that can look like in terms of building your businesses. Okay, so let's say you want to get to that $5,000 a month income. Okay, so let's say you've got a robust, your goal then would be to work assertively, confidently towards a growing platinum business. That would be my encouragement, okay? And like I said, you want to, what does it mean if it's growing and developing and dynamic? It means you've got a good percentage of your volume in your personal group because you've got people there that are coming in and going out. That means we're focusing on a couple of things. One, you want to get a great retail check. That goes without saying, and you want to teach everyone to do the same. This is really important. You want to teach some duplicable critical behaviors, which means you want to have as many people in your team developing a strong, solid retail element of their business. But it's an element of their business. It's not the business itself. I want to share with you a thought or a reality that I had today in one of my mentoring calls. I had a platinum that reached out to me that wanted to build a strong diamond business. And I said, tell me about your platinum business. They asked, what must my organization look like in order for me to get this particular type of check? And I said, well, first of all, tell me your starting point. What does your platinum business look like currently? They had one silver and a handful of execs, and the rest were directs. Okay. I said, ouch, that's not a strong, robust, growing platinum business. If you want a strong, robust, growing platinum business, you want to have a handful of golds in there. If you want to get to diamond, I would suggest your focus is develop half a dozen strong, growing platinums. Now let's break this down just a second. A platinum business has 30,000 organizational points a month. A gold has 15, which means technically you can become a platinum if you have 2 strong gold business members in your team and you yourself are doing some meaningful retail activity on the side in your personal group, which gives you your third leg. You and your personal group can be your third leg, yeah? So you'd need 2 strong gold legs in order to get to a platinumship. But let me emphasize something. You can have a great retail business if you're an executive, a silver, maybe even a gold. But as you get into platinumships, that's where you really need to start building teams. And if you want to get to diamond, you cannot get there through simply having a retail focused model. You've got to get a balance with retail and organization building, team building. So if we jump up to diamond as an example, that's 100,000 points in organizational volume, which means if you get 3 strong platinums and maybe a gold in your business, and all of that volume is within your pay rank, then what that means is you're going to be getting qualified as a diamond. But can you see that what that means? In order to become a diamond, it's not simply about having a load of customers. I've got to help 3 or 4 people become platinums. Maybe 4 or 5 or 6 people become golds. Yeah. If I've got half a dozen golds and a couple of platinums in my team, then things are starting to look good. Okay. So this is what I want to emphasize. Here you go. So 1 second, close the door, please. Thank you. I just had a little intruder there. This is what I want to emphasize. If you want to get a meaningful residual check, and by residual, we mean something that comes in on a month-by-month basis as a consequence of your organization, then you need to build a team of business builders. Those business builders need to be focused on rank advancements. If you don't have a clear focus on rank advancements in your business, it will go flat and stale real fast. Nothing drives momentum and speed and activity and enthusiasm more than a clear focus on recognizing and celebrating rank advancements in your organization. So you can break it down. If you're a platinum, you might say, who are the next people in my team that are going to go gold? And then you look to your silvers. Who are my silvers that want to step up and rank advance and build their business? What are their aspirations? So you break it down. And the way to do this is to look organizationally at the respective ranks. If you're a gold and you're going, I want to qualify as a gold, maybe grow my business to become a platinum, then you're looking at who are the people in my business that are going silver or that want to go silver, or are the people that are silvers that want to go gold? Okay, so you drop it down a couple of ranks and go, who wants to step up to the next level? Who wants to step up to the next level? Who wants to step up to the next level? And that's what you find out. So you identify those people through an interview process. Get on the phone with them, get on Zoom with them, find out who they are. And as I said on the kickoff call last night, critical question is not to ask people, what do you want? I'm sure if you asked everyone in your organization, would you like to have a diamond business? I think pretty much everyone would say yes. Okay, so why aren't they going for it? Why aren't they running for it? Because that's the wrong question to ask. The question you've got to ask is, what are you willing to suffer for? What are you willing to suffer for? That's a really important question to ask, because many of us want a diamond business or a royal diamond business, but we don't necessarily want to pay the price. We don't want to do the work. Yeah. So we don't get it. Yeah. So the question is, what are you willing to suffer for? And as I emphasized, and I'll repeat this again, what we can't do is say, I'm willing to pay 80 to 90% of the price, because that won't get you there. We know that to become a platinum, and Paul will attest to this because he worked really hard and recently qualifying as one of our new platinums. There's a price to pay, isn't there, Paul? Yeah, there's a sacrifice involved. Yeah, so whatever we want to achieve, there is a price to pay. If you want to become a gold, there's a cost. If you want to become a silver, there's a cost. If you want to develop a $1,000 check, there's a price to pay. The question is, are you willing to pay the price? Now, sometimes we go, I don't know what the price is. Can you please tell me? I'm going to say a resounding no. Now, you might go, wait a second, that's not fair. Tell me the price. What's the cost associated with this reward? Let me tell you how you figure it out. You figure it out by doing it. This is what I found. And I noticed this the first time I qualified for Team Kaizen. I anticipated as I walked into it that it would require this amount of sacrifice, this amount of work. Yeah. I've got my hands out here, Paul, maybe a foot apart. Yeah. And I'm going, this is how much is required here. As I did it, about a quarter of the year in, I realized very quickly I had vastly underestimated the sacrifice. I needed to do more. I needed to get more customers. I needed to find more people that would be more engaged, more active. I needed to engage my personal group more. I needed to get more activity going, and it required more effort and more sacrifice on my part than I expected. I actually found for me, it was 2 to 3 times more what I initially expected in regards to effort. The question is, are you willing to keep doing it? So you will discover as a rite of passage what it takes as you do it, which is why I say, I can't tell you what the price is. You've got to discover it for yourself. You've got to discover it for yourself, because that sacrifice isn't just about time or effort. It's about emotional toil as well. It's about personal belief and conviction as well. And as you go through this journey and as you hit your barriers and your roadblocks, you get these emotional turmoils where you go, oh, I wasn't expecting that learning curve, or I didn't expect that to happen. I was fully expecting this person to be one of my key players. They just quit on me. Wait a second. That person was just about to buy this pack and now they're not. I was expecting that volume to come in and now I've got to find it from somewhere else. And you get all of these challenges where people will start and stop or give up or quit or not join in the first place. And it causes you to question yourself, and it causes you to question your goals. And that is one of the big sacrifices that's required in getting to what you want to achieve. And that's why I say, only you can define that price. Because as you confront that, what does that mean to you? What does that cost? What is that feeling worth? Are you willing to push through it, or are you willing to have that beat you? And like I said, if you're only willing to put in 80%, what that means is you'll climb the mountain, you'll get near the summit, and you'll get all of that adversity. You'll get 3/4 the way there, and then you'll go, I can't do it all the way. And what does that mean? It means you slide back down. So your business building is constantly an uphill battle without you ever fully obtaining all of the rich rewards, because you're not quite willing to pay 100%. But 100% is what's required. What does that 100% look like? You'll discover it as you do it. So you kind of come full circle here. So, and this is perhaps the concluding point here. What I've emphasized today is, if you want to build a check that gives you a lifestyle, that gives you some time freedom, you've got to build a team, because the team has all of that activity going on when you're going to sleep or when you're doing something else, while you're working on finding new people or generating a customer sale, or you're supporting someone in their rank advancement. All of that stuff comes together and you get that team result, which pays you far more than what your personal hours can generate. You want that, you need that. And if you want to have a long-term business that pays you month after month, it will only come from having that balance of a strong retail focus, balanced with organizing yourself into a team where you're finding silvers that want to become golds, or executives that want to become silvers, silvers that want to become golds, golds that want to become platinums, platinums that want to become diamonds. And you get those guys working together, and then you focus every month. You've got to have that accountability. What are you doing this month to get that volume in? And you focus on volume and recruitment and rank advancement. As you focus on those 3 things, volume, recruitment, and rank advancement, and you focus on it on a monthly basis, then you can start to get that teamwork turning into rank advancements, turning into organizational volume that reaches beyond your natural reach and gives you a check that starts to pay out long after your personal activity has expired. That's what you want, right? because now you got the income, and now you're going, I've got an extra 20 hours a week in my schedule that I can play with. What do I do with that? You can either reinvest that into your business, grow it even more, or you can enjoy a holiday, or you can do something different, or you can take your kids out. You can meet one of your parents for lunch, or do whatever you do that makes your time precious and count. Yeah. But you get to put your priorities first as a consequence of that. I can't tell you how much that means to me as a father of 8. You know, Kim said to me not that long ago, she said, I've noticed as our little baby, she's 1 year old, sometimes she wakes up and she ends up in our bed. And we enjoy that, and we've got an extra big bed to accommodate extra little bodies that join us throughout the night sometimes. And she said, I can't help but notice, though, that in her sleep, she gravitates to you. Right. And she said, I find that really interesting. She said, I've noticed something with Evie that we haven't seen with our other children. And she said, I think we've got in her as a toddler, as an infant, an equal relationship as a mother and father that we didn't quite enjoy when we were younger. Because when we were younger, my schedule was very different. See the difference there? You can't put a price on that. That's real value. Yeah. So you get all of that as you get your check balanced in building an organization. So my invitation is to build that organization, get a clear vision. Go back to what we started on months ago when we first started this run of course. What is my vision? Why am I trying to do this? Why does that have to be front and center? Because you're going to figure out for yourself what 100% looks like as you build your business. There's no other way to discover that. It's only through doing that you discover. Yeah, that's where the wisdom comes from. That's when you know the price. And then when you go on the Team Kaizen trips, you sit with the others and they all nod their head in agreement and they go, yeah, I get it. I know that story. I know that road because I've walked there too. And so you have a common bond then with those guys. That's one of the reasons why they love those trips so much, because there's a common bond there because everyone walked the same path to get it. And that's kind of a neat experience. There's a sense of understanding and camaraderie and kinship there because we all paid that same price. We all know what that journey required. We all had those stumbling blocks. We all had those barriers, but we pushed through it. Yeah, we paid 100%. That's the difference. So go back to the vision, understand that, and then understand critically it's a balance. And hopefully, as I've explained today, in conclusion, you can see that it starts by just dropping a couple of levels in the organizational chart and going, which people want to rank advance? Find those people in your business, even if it means recruiting them. Find those people, get them focused on a monthly basis, and then drive that emphasis on rank advancement as much as you can, and celebrate every step of the way. I've gone about 4 minutes over. I apologize, Jeff, but I'll pass the time back to you.
Ben, thank you. I think this is really helpful in the direction we need to go in getting some specifics about what it is we actually need to do in terms of next steps. And perhaps next week, we can kind of drill down just a little bit in terms of what kind of activities, what kinds of things need to happen on a monthly, a weekly, a daily basis to get started. Many people are starting from ground zero. They're starting from scratch. So in terms of creating a team, what are some of those first steps? We may not have a platinum or a diamond distributorship overnight, but what are the steps to begin that process of making that happen? So please, everybody, join us next week. Ben, you'll be back with us again.
Yeah.
We'll continue this process of looking specifically at the area of income. We will get to influence and community as we move forward, but specifically this area of income and some of the things within the aspects of recruitment, rank advancement, and retailing that we need to do to make our results happen, whatever those might be for us. So Ben, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thanks everybody for participating. Let your team know to join us. There's going to be a lot of great information that they don't want to miss. Also, I will be getting these calls out to you and in a series, so you can go back and watch any of the calls that you've missed. Again, thanks everyone. Have a great evening, and we'll see everybody next week.